Hi everyone. Okay, quickly let me know, like if I am like visible and audible, so that we can start with the thing. Good afternoon, Sejal. Good afternoon, Kaushiki. Right. Am I audible? You can hear me, right? Hi, Shivani. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Simran. Fine. To start with this, we are talking about NMAT and SNAP, or the different kind of papers that you have out here. Before we start with anything, what might be the most important part when you go across with this kind of a paper? What do you say? Especially the verbal part, of course. Hi, Sumit. Yeah. Anyone who can tell me? Hi, Sumit. Good afternoon. Okay, fine. So I'll just let you know that the most important part out here is going to be the vocab part. Of course, there would be plenty other questions coming across. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to work with the vocabulary, right? Now, when I talk in terms of vocabulary, what are the type of questions you would be looking out for? So, the very first question that you would expect is going to be something to do with synonyms and antonyms. Now, definitely this is not a pattern that is followed in CAT, but then again, this pattern has a different pattern altogether, right? The whole thing about vocabulary in itself is like not that easy, right? It has a good level out there, right? So you need to be very good with this. You need to understand the vocabulary, and you have to learn a lot so that these high frequency words and everything, you should be clear with that. Fine. Okay, let's start with one thing. Let's have a word out here. There's a word given across as right? The word is given across as malediction. Now, how many of you do not know the meaning? I want you people to show me a hand or something so that I can get to know that you don't know about malediction. Everyone knows what is okay. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, good, good. Right. Fine. So many of you do not know what is the meaning of malediction. When I don't know the meaning of malediction, what would I do? I would generally go across and I would try to find the meaning. So maybe I would Google it, or I would chat GPT or something like that, and I would try to get the meaning. But the problem is that with this kind of a thought process, you would only be able to understand or learn just one word in a day. That is not enough for us, right? So let's try this again and let's see how it works for us. Look at this word malediction. See, the very first thing that I could see was a male, right? So the other part which is left is something to do with, yes, yes, Sanya, that is the right way of going about. We can come across and we can find all these words from there. Very good, Sanya. So we have got mal or male, and then we have got diction. With diction, if you look at it, any word that starts with diction, any word that starts with diction. Can anyone give that thing? No, Shrutija, we are not talking about male addiction. Yeah, forget about it. Okay, fine. So we are talking about diction. What would it be? With diction? No, I said the word has to start with diction. Yes, very good. The word is dictionary, right? What does a dictionary have? A dictionary has words, it has got expressions, it has got sentences, plenty of things. So from today on, just remember, whenever we have a diction word coming across, it would mean word, right? It would mean some kind of, a kind of expression, and it might mean a kind of uh, some kind of conversation, right? Okay, but it does not make any sense. What are we talking about? Are we talking about masculine words, masculine expression, or some kind of masculine conversation, right? Masculine, huh? No, we are not talking about that, right? What are we actually talking about then? So in this case, we are actually talking about, we have to remember that English is actually not a big, vocabulary list. It does not have a big vocabulary list. That's why it keeps on taking words from here and there. Moreover, it uses the same word again and again in different places, right? So remember one thing, that whenever we have male written, okay, just male written, then it would definitely mean something to do with masculinity. But when we talk in terms of a word coming across with this, then what we have to do is we have to remove it. Okay, the E part does not work out here. What is the word left? The word is mal. It is just because of the pronunciation that we came across, and we came across with this word malediction, right? Simple as that. So keeping that in mind, now we have got just the word mal. Can you just tell me words starting with mal? Supposedly my device is not working, right? If my device is not working, what would I say? What is it doing? So you would say it is malfunctioning, right? Yeah, okay, malfunction, malpractice, malicious, malnutrition. Yes, that's me, malnutrition, right? Okay, so keeping that in mind, mal, what kind of word is it? It is negative. It stands for something which is bad. Easy, right? Now let's have this word, bad words. So when I say bad words, what does it mean? One word for bad words. It would stand for something to do with some kind of using abuse. Yeah, when we abuse someone, so we are using bad words. Bad expression, as in like, I'm wishing bad for someone, right? I hope something bad happens to him. So what is it? It's a kind of curse. If it is a bad conversation, so I'm talking to someone and I'm doing some kind of, we are using malediction for each other, which means that, am I respecting? Are we respecting each other? Are we praising each other? No, we are not. Fine. Male bad words. Sure, why not, Sampath? Okay, so what does it mean? When I say bad conversation, I'm talking about when I'm humiliating someone, when I'm insulting someone, or I'm condescending someone, right? So in that case, it is talking about something to do with condescend, right? I get the word, I understand the word, and the best part is I learned many words. Fine. Tell me the first thing. Have you understood the whole concept? How to come across with words, and try to break as many as possible so that it helps you to get more words out of it, right? Fine. So I'm going to try this again, and let's see whether it works for me or not. Yeah. I learned malediction. I'm going to use it in a different thing, and let's see whether it works. The first word is benediction. The other word is what is the word? Circumdiction. The last word is somnidiction. Fine. Let's use it again. Let's see whether I have learned something out of it or not. Okay. Let's see benediction. What is common that is happening out here? What is the common part? Of course, the common part is diction, right? And we already know what do they stand for. Fine. What are we left with? Bene. Let's talk in terms of Bene. How does Bene work for us? Bene. Do you remember the cartoon character? Yeah, what was his name? Do you remember it? Ah, yes, very good, Animesh. It was Ben 10, right? So just remember that animated character. Was he a hero or a villain? Of course, he was hero, right? So if he was hero, so Ben or Ben 10 or Bene or Benny, all these words would actually be positive, right? Let's have another word. Do we have more words coming across with Bene? Right? Do we have more words coming across with Bene or Benny? Yes. You should study hard because it is going to dash you. So what is it? Benefit you, right? Fine. He is my benefactor, right? We should show benevolence. So there are so many words where we use Bene. And that Bene actually stands for what? Something which is positive, right? Or something good. I'm using good words for someone. What would that mean? I'm using good words for someone. What would that mean? Would it be something like, okay, like malediction was abuse, so this one would be, what would it be? What is the word? Yes, very good. Who gave the answer? It's Sanya, Sejal, okay, Animesh, Umrao, Shrija, and Vaishnavi. Okay, pretty cool. So this one is actually talking about something to do with praising someone, right? Right? When I'm praying for someone, right? I'm doing benediction, right? When I'm appraising someone, when I'm appreciating someone, I'm using benediction. Easy as that. So, are we learning words? Yeah? I hope you are learning words, right? Let's move on. Circumdiction. We are left with circum. Now, many a time what happens, we learn the word in a different way. So, if I say words starting with circum, you would come across with circumstance. But wait, if you come across with circumstance, it would not work for you because you know the meaning of the word circumstance, but you don't know what is the meaning of circum, right? So think of a word which would come across and help me with circum. Can anyone tell me? A word that starts with circum. Very good, Vaishnavi. The word is circumference, right? When I say circumference, what is it that has a circumference? It is basically something to do with circle. And what is the shape of circle? It is circular, or I would say round. Yeah. Round words does not make any sense. Round expressions do not make any sense, but conversations, can they be rounded? Can they be in circular, right? They can be, right? So if I say circular conversation or something to do with the rounded conversation, what am I talking about? Can anyone tell me? Right, Ronak, it is baaton mein gol gol ghumana. Yes. Perfect. So a person not coming to the point. Rather, there is an idiom for it. Can anyone tell me the idiom? Can anyone come to the idiom? Awesome. Yes, Ashmi, Sanya, Vaishnavi, Ronak. That is that Paris? Okay. Right. So the word is beating around the bush. Fine. I see like we have got quite good students out here. Good. That is like kudos to you guys. That is good for you. Fine. So circumdiction, what does it mean? It means like talking in circle, talking in like not coming to the point. not coming to the point. Let's move on. Somni diction. Okay. Now, I know what is diction, right? Somni is the word. Now, I remember a disorder that comes across with somni. Can anyone tell me? Yes, very good. The word is insomnia, right? So when I say insomnia, in means without or lack. So what does som mean? Yep. Okay, what does it mean? Som means sleep. So it is lack of sleep or someone without sleep, right? So this is the disorder of sleep, right? Sleep disorder. Coming back to it, diction I already know. I'm not talking about sleepy words or I'm not talking about sleepy expressions. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a person, or maybe this is the condition he has. What is the condition? He's a sleep talker, right? He's a sleep talker, which means he talks during sleeping, right? So I can say sleep talking. Has everyone understood? So we don't even know that by simply going across with this kind of thought process, what would happen? We can come across and learn as many words we can, right? On like for any kind of paper, I would say like somewhere around 1,500 words are based on roots. So you can always learn through roots by breaking them, and you can learn more words, right? Okay. Can you try one more? Okay, I'll just give you one more. Try that. Okay, before that, conversation that makes you sleep boring or talking in your sleep. Talking in your sleep, Ronak. Not something that makes you go to sleep. Okay, that would be very different thing. Okay, right. Just to see whether it is working for you, I'm gonna give you a word. You are going to do it for me, and please no cheating. Right? Okay. Let's have a word. The word is yeah. Check it out. Srija, I don't need the answer. I need the breakup. I need the breakup. Because once you break the word, what happens is you can actually learn more words out of it, right? So we don't have that much of time, right? We have to come across and we have to bring across all our resources, everything that we know, and we have to connect them, right? Because connecting them, connecting the resources, connecting the understandability is going to create an opportunity to have more words in our vocabulary, right? Okay, fine. Let's start with this. Okay, what is it? Som, I already know. Som means sleep. Yeah. Then what is this? IST. If you remember, words ending with IST, what does it? There is philanthropist, there is scientist, okay, there is racist, okay. So there are so many words out there. When I say these kind of words like scientist, am I talking about science or am I talking about a person? So definitely I'm talking about a person. So IST is basically talking about the person. And what are we left with? We are left with amble. Amble means ambulance. What does an ambulance do? Ambulance moves for those people who cannot move themselves, right? So in that sense, amble actually means something to do with walk. Okay, whenever there is amble, okay, they would all mean the same thing. So amble, they would mean walk. It would mean some kind of journey, move, and all that. So what does it mean? As easy as that. A person who walks, of course not journey, a person who walks in his sleep. I hope everyone has understood how it is going about. Yeah. Somni sleep, amble to walk, ist is the person who sleepwalks. Or some avivarta, okay. Sleepwalking person, yes, a person. Sonam and Ayla, Abhishek, let's not use those words. Yeah. Got it? Okay. It's working for you? Yeah? Fine. So, keeping all these things in mind, let's start with our questions, right? And carry on with something, right? Let's see what happens when it actually comes across as a question in your paper. Here. So, the first word given across to you today is incontrovertible. Incontrovertible. But I don't want your answers again. Fine? Because the story is not about getting the answers. The story is about getting accuracy in your paper, right? And accuracy is something which you can derive only when you are clear about what is to be removed, right? What cannot be my answer, right? So keeping that in mind, come across with the first one. What is the word given across? Yes, Ronak, it is actually, and I hope it works for you, right? Coming back to it, what is the word? Incontrovertible, right? Now, if I go across with it, what are the things that we can actually come across with? If you see in, right, contro, right, then there is word and then there is able. This is the word we have to break. Fine? Or samashamai. Yeah. Now, can you tell me what exactly it means? In means what? So something which is not, without, lack, and so this is not. Okay. Contro means what? Contro means something to do with against. Yeah. Contra, you must have played contra. So this is against. And then what do we have? We have got word. Word stands for something to do with turn. And able means what? Able to do something, right? So able to. Right? Keeping this in mind, tell me, what is it actually talking about? Incontrovertible, which means, what does it mean? Can you go against? Can you make the person go against or something like that? Can you turn the person? Keeping that in mind, what would it be? Yeah. Is it debatable? See, if it is debatable, it clearly means that I can actually go against it, right? So which means debatable cannot be my answer, right? If it is confusing, then definitely I cannot move against or I cannot go for, because there is no support or going against, right? So confusing goes away. Temporary is again something not related to this. The only option that is for incontrovertible is absolute. Has everyone understood? Yes, Krish, that is absolutely absolute. Has everyone understood? Exactly, Ronit. Yes. Yes, Sri Narayan. Yo, good enough. So I'm moving ahead. The word is magnanimous. The word is magnanimous. Can we break the word for us? The word magna, or we can say magn, right? Then there is anim, and then we have got ous, right? So break it down, see what you can come across with. Very good. Very good. So, whenever we have got magna, it would mean something which is great. Okay? Something which is great. Okay? When we have got anim, anim means what? It means something to do with spirit. Okay? Sometimes it also means something to do with mind. Sometimes it talks about life and plenty other. So animation is basically when you give spirit to something, right? So more or less it is talking about something to do with spirit, right? OUS is always going to talk about the quality it has, right? Fine. So keeping that in mind, we are talking about a person who is greatly spirited or something. So if it is greatly spirited, definitely it has to be a positive word, right? Fine. Yes, Ronit. Okay. Okay. So where do I go? Selfish is a negative word. Cowardly is a negative word. Talkative, yeah, of course, great spirits do talk a lot, maybe or maybe not. But then again, it does not make any sense, right? There is no connection out here. So that's why talkative definitely goes away. We are only left with one, that is generous. Just let me know one thing. When I go across with this kind of a thought process, does my accuracy level gets high or not? Krish, that would be not generally generous, it would be genuinely generous. That would make more sense. Yeah? Yeah, of course, of course. And this is what I really want from you. Fine. That we need to work on our accuracy levels, because accuracy would definitely make sure that we can come across with great results, right? Not just results. I don't need results. You don't need results. We all are potential enough. But the thing is that right now what we really need is a great result. Okay? Right. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what we have in store for us. The word is disseminate. The word is disseminate. Can we break it? Yes, the word is dis. Okay, look at this part. 8. 8 is basically talking about what? Some kind of action. Okay. And we are coming across with semen. Okay. So whenever we have these kind of words, semen is, yeah, of course, you know what is semen, right? So this is basically, this is like apart. Okay. Semen is something to do with seed. That's why the word semen, right? Okay. And then 8 is the action. So as per that, what am I doing? I'm taking the seed, I'm throwing them apart. What am I doing? Am I concealing it? Definitely not. Am I protecting it? I'm throwing them apart, so no. Am I discarding it? So discarding would mean like I'm just throwing it away, right? I'm not using it anymore. I'm just discarding it, right? When you discard clothes, you don't actually throw them apart here and there. You just throw them somewhere, right? So that is not discarding. But what about spreading? Where I've sent it across here and there. So the better answer, what is it? The answer is better answer, right? The better option out here is spread. Has everyone understood? Cool. Let's move on to the next one. Guys, I also would want you guys to have your registers ready with you wherever you are taking the notes, because whatever new word you come across with, you should write it down with you, okay? Because vocabulary is something which is always going to stick to you, right? It's a stickler, right? And that's why you have to keep a big, bulk of pages with you where you can write down all the words, whichever you feel like, and then keep on reading them. Don't try to learn them, okay? Yeah, Ayushman, I'll just tell you. Discard is like when I throw them away, right? But this is not talking about just throwing them away. It is actually talking about throwing them apart. So when I'm throwing them apart, what is happening? I'm throwing some seeds out here, some seeds out there. What am I doing? I'm actually scattering them, right? Almost like I'm spreading them, okay? So I hope, Ayushman, you have understood. Let's go to the next word. Yeah. What is the word? The word is inscrutable. No, Ayushman. Ayushman, it would be, rather I would take it a very neutral word, right? It can be used for a positive sentence. It can be used for a negative sentence anyway. Yes, very good, guys. See, I really like this. You people are like so, you're like this, man. In a jiffy, you have understood how to crack the things, right? So we have got in, we have got scrut, and we have got able, okay? Just look at it. Let's see what to do. Able, we already know. In is what? We just learned. What is in? In is not, okay? And scrut. Scrut, what is the word we remember with scrut? So the word is scrutiny, right? Yeah, you have heard of scrutiny? Something like when we say the case is under scrutiny, okay? The issue is under scrutiny. The theory is under scrutiny. What is it actually talking about? So it is actually talking about examine, evaluation, something like that, right? Examine, okay? So what does it mean? Not able to examine. Something that cannot be examined, okay? If something is there and it cannot be examined, what do you think should be the right answer? Awesome, guys. Awesome. Awesome. And for this, I'm gonna give you a big star. Very good. Just let's see. Mysterious. So mysterious is something that cannot be interpreted, right? Mysterious is something that cannot be examined because we don't know where to go. Simple is something that can easily be scrutinized, right? So simple cannot be. Loud is, again, there are two types of loud. One is like someone is shouting, and something when we say like, oh my God, his style is too loud, which means it is clearly, I can see it in front of me, which means loud cannot be my answer. Transparent is, again, it can easily be scrutinized, and therefore this goes, the answer is mysterious. Very good, guys. You have done a good job for yourself. Very good. Let's move on to the next word. Here. What is the word given across? The word is exacerbate. Exacerbate, right? Look into it. See, 8 like generate, animate, okay? So 8 is something to do something, right? Then we have got acerb, acerbic, right? Acerbic acid, there is some kind of acid, it is also called as acerbic acid or something like that. Yeah. Then we have got X. So X is in your life, or he or she is out of your life. What is it? X is out of your life, right? And therefore, out, right? And then, what is it? We have got acerb. So if it is acerbic acid, it would be like harsh, something which is harsh. So we'll learn the word bitter, or we can also learn the word as in harsh, okay? Something which is very acidic, okay? And 8 is to do. So out bitter, what does it mean, out bitter? In these words, it would actually mean that, what is it? It is quite bitter, extremely bitter, right? Keeping that in mind, something which was already bitter and it became more bitter, right? So, is it improving? No, definitely it is not improving. Is it repairing? No. Is it balancing? No. The only option that is possible out here is worsen the situation. Right, guys? Exactly, Mahi. Right. You got the picture. Easy, 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 guys. Next. What is the word? The word is obfuscation. Fine? Yes, Animesh. You have actually got the right thing. The right thought process out here is elimination is important, right? Once you eliminate, your accuracy would drastically improve, right? Come back to this. What is the word? The word is obfuscation. How can we break it? So it would be of course, shun is, we know that it is a, a kind of root that tells us that this word is a noun. Fine? The word FUSC. Have you heard of this word? Yes, yes. Have you heard of this color called as fuchsia, right? What kind of color is that? So, ob, wherever we have ob, it would mean something to do with over. Fuchsia or fusk would actually stand for something to do with dark, okay? Over dark, fine. I think so, the answer is already there. What would it be? Anyone? It's just that when you do this question, you need to remember, what would it be? Will it be darkness? Because if you look at it carefully, there is one thing which is talking about clarification. What kind of word would be clarification? So clarification would actually be the opposite of it, right? So this would be the antonym. Yeah. What is the next thing that we have? Darkness. So obfuscation is not actually talking about darkness, right? It is actually talking about some kind of confusion, right? Because for confusion, we also say keeping someone in the dark. We say that keeping someone in the dark, right? So that's why we have to go across with confusion. Obsession is definitely not working with, just because it starts with ob does not mean that it would also talk about what? Obsession. Fine? Okay, cool. Now, from this point on, you would be doing the questions in a different way. So I would be saying, out here, you will have to find out the antonym. Okay? You need to find out the antonym. Right? Look at it again and try to break this. Could you? Okay, let's see. So we have got first thing, inter, then we have got neck and ine, right? So internecine. Internecine is the word. Can you just tell me what would it mean? Inter, you must have heard of it. What is inter? What is inter? Inter is when I say something is between, right? And neck or ness would talk about what? Have you heard of necro, right? Something to do with that. It means to something to do with kill. Fine? And ein is relating to it. Fine? coming across with this, what should be my answer? Yep. Will it be mutual? Okay, somebody said C, somebody says A. But even side refers to kill. Very good, Sanjana. Sanjana, in that case, you know that both of them are going to work. Like diction means to talk or words. Similarly, if the word is ending with verb or starting with verb, it would also mean words and other stuff, right? So there are different words, they would talk about the same. When we say somnidiction, it can also be somnilocution. So locu also stands for talking. So different roots, same meaning. We can have that. Okay, what is the antonym? Okay, the house is divided, guys. Some people are saying C, some people are also saying A. Okay, let's see. Can it be A? Definitely not, because we are trying to find out antonym. What is antonym? We are trying to find out the opposite of the word. So therefore, definitely deadly is gone. Historical does not have like killing, between, no relation. Mutual and peaceful is left. Okay, one last chance. One last chance. What would you go across with? Now, when I say mutual, what does it mean? Mutual means we are in agreement. For what? So it can be anything. Like I said, I hate you to someone, and the person says, the feeling is mutual. So in that case, what is mutual doing? Is it going against this, or it is positive or negative? So in that case, mutual is not going to work for me. We have to remove mutual. The only thing which is opposite of internecine is peaceful. Has everyone understood? Is it great going, guys? Yeah, C is the best option. Very good. So that is how we go about. Every time when you go across in an entrance, you have to find the best option. Okay? Out of the 4, 5, whatever it is, try to find the best option. Righto. Can we move ahead? Let's move in. Next word. What is the word? The word is given across as misconstrue. Okay? So let's see. What is misconstrue? Tell me, how would you break it? Oh, see the answer? Okay. Let's see. Misconstrue, how would I go across with? See, if you look at this, stir, then con, and then miss. Okay? Miss is what? Miss is something which is wrong. Miss has many translations, right? One of which is mistake, so something which is wrongly done. So, wrong. Okay? When we talk in terms of con, as in congress, right? So what is con talking about? Con is talking about together, right? So con is talking about something to do with together. What are we left with? Strew. Strew is what? Strew, the word, structure, heard of it? So when I say structure, what does it mean? I'm building something, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Anshika. It can also stand for hate, right? So what do we have out here? Strew is trying to make something or build something. Misconstrue. What are they doing? They're actually wrongly building something, right? Maybe I said something to you and it got miscommunicated, or you got confused with that. That part would be called as misconstrue. Easy as that. I need to find the opposite of that. Remember that. I need to find the opposite of that. Now, many a time what really happens is, when you are sitting across for a paper, these people, they know about your psyche, right? So what they do is they give you in a question of antonym, they would also provide you with a synonym. And out of excitement, yes, I know the meaning of the word, you actually hit the synonym. Let's not go into that. Okay? Let's definitely not get into that. What we have to do is we have to catch hold of all the parts which are what? As per the question, right? So you remember the question. You see that we have to identify the antonym. So you find the antonym. Okay? Try it out. What would be the right answer? Is it going to be misinterpret, confuse, understand, or overstate? I can easily remove the word out here, which is that. Yeah. Misinterpret. It is actually talking about the same thing. So it is a synonym. And I'm telling you guys, you might not, you might think that I'm just saying it just for the sake of it, but I'm telling you, it is actually true. Many of you, somewhere around 40% of you people would actually click out here misinterpret, right? Don't do that. More than that, just see if it is misinterpret, why not it is confuse, right? So both of them are somehow related, associated, and therefore confuse is also going away, right? Now look at this word. When I overstate something, what am I doing? Am I talking about the same thing or am I changing the thing? I'm actually changing the thing. I'm trying to not give the true interpretation. I'm trying to do something wrong. Why? Because I'm overstating for it. And therefore, even this does not stand. So the only option that is left for us is understand. Are we done with it, bro? Have you understood? Yeah? Guys, has everyone understood? Oh, cool. Let's move ahead. What is the word we have? The next word is improvident. Yeah. Tell me. Improvident. How do I break it? So we have got im, we have got provi, or we can say provide, maybe, or end, right? That is the kind of word we would see. Or we can also break off vid as well, okay? So let's see. How do I get it? Improvident. I am. Im is not. Fine. Pro is basically talking about something to do with progress, right? So it is talking about something to do with forward, right? Vid, okay? Vid, what does it vid stand for? Vision, vid, okay? So something not looking forward or something. And ent is like the person, or it can be some kind of adjective or something like that. So if a person is improvident, what is he? If a person is improvident, what would it be? What can be the answer for this? Anyone? Okay, let's see. Now, what is thrifty? Can anyone tell me what is thrifty? Or better yet, let me know what is improvident. A person who does work, who is improvident, right? What is he actually trying to do? What is he actually trying to say? Is he looking forward? Is he working for a viability? Or is trying to just stay to himself or something like that? What is it? So this guy is definitely not extravagant. because he's not looking forward. He's just throwing away, right? He's definitely not reckless, because extravagant and reckless, they are same meaning, goes away. We are left with thrifty and proud. Okay. The problem out here is proud does not have a relation with improvident, right? So because all the words are not going to have relation with the word. So every time the odd one out, you need to work on, like specifically you have to work upon it, right? The words which are not in the scope, not working with the word, you have to remove it completely. So the only option that is left out here is a person who is thrifty. Yeah. So who is a person who is thrifty? A person who would look forward, right? A person who is quite careful. Yes, very good. Has everyone understood? Now this word, this question was a bit higher. Okay, I'll take that. Never mind. But now that you have learned the word, you need to write it down with you and go on with this so that you can learn and keep on looking at it so that you retain the word. It becomes a part of your whole system, right? Okay, fine. Sanya, improvident is a person who is basically, he's not actually thinking, right? He's not seeking, he's not looking forward. And that's why, what is he? He's extravagant, right? He's simply throwing away his life. Why? Because he does not know what is going to happen. He does not have a bigger vision, right? He's not actually looking forward. He's not visionary. Clear? Same is with reckless, right? Because a person who is reckless is improvident. He's not actually thinking what is happening to his life. He's just going on. He's not looking forward, right? Now, thrifty is a person who is always careful, right? He's always like, no, 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 no. I'm not going to do it, okay? So that is why better answer is thrifty. Why? Because we are trying to find the opposite of the word. Has everyone understood? Yes, 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 yes. Prodigal is almost, yes, nearby. Has everyone understood? Cool. Let's move on. Pernicious. Guys, pernicious. Now the best part is, even if you don't know the meaning of pernicious, you can do this question. And this kind of a question would be a 5-second question. So we also have to understand that we have to be smart guessers. What is it? So I'm not saying that no, you have to learn all the words or else this paper is not yours. No, nothing like that. You can actually crack the paper, but you have to be very smart when you're guessing, when you are trying to find the probable answer, right? So look out here. Look out here. You can actually get the answer. Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Very good. So even if I don't know what is pernicious, I can actually get the answer. And you get a star because you all came across with the right answer. Fine. What is it? See, toxic, sinister, destructive. They all are working on the same line, right? That's why bye-bye. And what are we left with? We are only left with benign. And, excuse me, did we learn this root today? Yes, we did. What was it? We could find Ben 10 out here, yeah? So Ben 10 is what? It's positive. And therefore the answer is B. Any problem? Has everyone understood what is it going about, how it is? Cool. Let's move ahead. Now this time round, I've come across with these words. You need to look at these words and then try to find out what exactly your answer be. So this is again, what is it? It is your fill in the blanks. Now, I always personally believe that fill in the blanks, there are many types of fill in the blanks, right? But today the kind of fill in the blanks I'm working on is basically your kind of, vocabulary based. Okay, so look at them and see what you can come across with. Yup. So in this case, we need to catch hold of the word incontrovertible. What did it mean? Tell me quickly. Incontrovertible. What was the meaning of the word? That is, you cannot turn someone against someone, right? In that case, that is it. His calmness and incontrovertible in crisis situation. Can this be my answer? So there is another reason to it, why it cannot be. Just look at the dash. Look at this dash. Careful, right? What is it like? How does it work? This place is used joined with and, okay? And with this and, I have a word calmness. What part of speech is calmness? Tell me. What part of speech is calmness? It's a noun. Very good. It's a noun. Abstract noun it is because it is ending with ness, right? Smartness, right? Calmness. Okay? Okay. So this is a noun. Now a noun is getting joined with and, okay? So what kind of word should I look out for? I should look out for a noun. But this one is ending with able, which is able, which is adjective, right? This one is ending with ate, which is a verb, like generate, ate, right? So all these two words can never be my answer out here. Any problem? Have you understood the concept? Just let me know. Yeah? Cool. Now that you have understood, we are left with anachronism. Now, if I look at this anachronism, ana is something to do with against, chron is something to do with time, right? Against time or something that does not belong to that time. So that means it is something to talking about time, okay? Do I need anything out here regarding time? His calmness and anachronism not working. So B part goes away. Now we have got obfuscation and equanimity. I don't know what is equanimity, let us suppose, but I know what is obfuscation because we did the word, yeah? Obfuscation, what kind of word was that? Was it positive word or a negative word? Very good. So obfuscation is actually a negative word. But with calmness, I need a positive word out here, which means I can also tone the sentence, right? So I can check for the part of speech, I can check for the tone of the sentence, and I can definitely come across with the right answer. So we have got what? We have got obfuscation, which is a negative word, and therefore this cannot be my answer. My right answer out here has to be, there is no other option. What would it be? Guys, what would it be? It has to be equanimity. So, even if I don't know what is the meaning of equanimity, I can actually do it. I can actually do it, right? Now, let's break it as well. Okay, just let's remember. Do you remember anim? Yeah? Anim was there. What was it? Some kind of mind or spirit, right? And before that, what was it we had? We had equal, right? Equal, which means the person is balanced, right? What kind of mindset he has, what kind of spirit he has. So whatever it is, he's balanced, right? He's balanced, he's at peace, he's not going to be reckless, right? So does it work? Equanimity, is it a positive word? Yes, it is a positive word, and therefore it has to be my answer. Right, guys? Has everyone understood what I have said? Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come across with more questions every week, right, on Today is Wednesday and tomorrow is Thursday. So every Wednesday and Thursday, you have a date with me. Sorry, you have a class with me. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so you have a date with me and we are going to crack this English thing for once and for all. Okay, so until the next time, take care, guys, and we'll meet tomorrow around the same time. Bye-bye.